question coming your way as well. Some senior officers of the government, issues around conflict of interest. And this one, the Standard focuses on one member of the Judicial Service Commission, that's Isaac Ruto, and questioning whether or not he should be so visibly attending such meetings. We've raised these questions, Bwana, over time. Some of these are political appointees. Are we trying to be a bit morally hypocritical? We know the nature of our politics. We know that political appointees will definitely support their master. Are we in any way trying to believe that Isaac Ruto's appointment to the JSC was not political and he therefore should not attend party politics?
You know, somebody who has been an MP for a very long time, somebody who has even been a governor, somebody who was at the center of the Kenyan politics for a very long time and was made a JSC commissioner. I don't know how you guys expected him not to be political. I think that we need to understand some of the suggestions. And you know, I think we raised the question when KRA chairman was a UDA official.
Yes.
And we say that, how does this one work? And you know, the same characters now calling us out. They were telling us that, you know, it can work, and you know, and he served. And I think he was just removed because of the broad-based politics, where they say that we need to professionalize the management of the tax collection to ensure that it's separated from the politics of the day, and so on. But still, the person who is the chairman today was also a politician for some time. So I think that it's a very dicey, is a place where we need to find ways of. That's why it's always very good that we need to be objective, whether we are in the, you know, government side or the opposition side, you know, whatever side we are on, we need to reflect on our actions. What are we doing? You know, does it harm the other side? Will the same be used to harm us? I think that in my politics, I always don't want to be in a situation where I use the powers to harm anybody. You know, so Isaac Ruto, I really sympathize with him, because when you have become a politician, that's why there's always a say, once a politician, always a politician. You'll always find the inkling to attend political.
It is the same debate about CSS and whether their involvement in party politics. We've seen especially even the experts that are related to government, they're very much involved in the ODM party politics.
Yes, and also the party politics, not only ODM, you know, even some, because in this broad-based government, some of them are not even ODM members, like you have UDA, aligned CSS, Jubilee aligned CSS, etc. What we need to understand is that also what is the role of a cabinet secretary? You know, the cabinet secretary's main role, which is not really well understood, is to communicate policy. Yes. And sometimes communicating policy needs you to attend political functions. You need to be very political in nature, you know, and you need to be...
So that is different from Isaac Ruto,
you know, Isaac,
as a member of the JSC.
As a member of JSC, you know, the beauty of it is that he was just an attendee. Not like Kiruga Tuku, who even addressed the meeting. He didn't address the meeting. Right. So probably the mistake he made was to wear, if he didn't wear the UDA colors, he would have passed for just a visitor in status who has been caught in a meeting where he was not supposed to participate.
All right. Even as you comment on that, Bwana Kiruga Thuku, it was indeed a meeting that in terms of perception, the numbers were good, all elected leaders were there. It really made the UDA look like the party of the day. The president appears to be a step ahead of the rest and all that. But there's a lot of discussion and there's a lot of worry even within UDA. It was raised by one of those speakers there, I think Danson Mugatana, that even in the plans to build a coalition with ODM, there are worries within UDA that these individuals may come and eat up space. Now, this is where you come up against a lie, clearly, that once Robert Alai comes into this coalition, your space will be a bit constrained.
No, but if you remember well, I started doing Alawi to come to our side way back. In fact, I received him officially during a show with him here. So these things are always there. I think among all professionals, I think politicians are the most insecure people on earth. Because you see, the numbers that will be brought together under the broad-based. Oh, I'm telling you, we will win this thing by between 2 million and 3 million votes. And, you know, it's always good to see the bigger picture. And you know, I hear you saying, it seems so good, I don't know who. It was good, you see? And it is good. And, you know,
you don't share in those concerns raised by your colleagues?
Of course, it is good. You know, you listen to them and you address them.
You don't share in the concerns?
No, me, I'm not fearful of anything. I'm really happy about, you know, the way we have, the bigger picture. The fact that we are almost reinventing something akin to NAC, whereby almost the whole country came together. And what I'm telling you is this, friend. You know, the good thing about even the way this country is coming together under President William Ruto. You know, like in the place I come from, we have like two approaches to who President Ruto is. There is that, the people who have fallen out with the president, they are trained to sell a certain negative narrative. For those of us still working with the president, we know of a man who wants to achieve for this country. We know of a man, the president and even his deputy, leaders who want to help us bring development to our people. And that's why we are saying about political tolerance. Let those who are selling the negative agenda about the president do it in peace and stop importing kills to our region to suppress those who want to speak the positive side of the president and his deputy. So the issue is the president means really well for this country, and the president is saying, you know, there were sometimes some people, and this actually to an extent answers your concerns. There were some people when we finished elections, they believed the work that now was to be done was to trample those people we had defeated, throw them away, not give them a chance. And you know, the president and most of us were opposed to that. You know, even the former president, President Uhuru, he used to say there are no category of Kenyans called Drusas. You know, President Kibaki was there. He used to say, you know, you have to be politically tolerant to everyone. And you see, these people reached out to the opposition to stable this country. All of them, President Uhuru did it, President Kibaki did it, even President Moi did it. You know, you don't have to hate so hard on those you have been in competition with. And I want to thank our president because he has done it so well. And it's not just about winning politically or what seems to be a win politically. Then you lose the country.
Yet the president admitted that, yes, there definitely will be give and take.
Yes.
We know that ODM has demanded that would go for nothing less than a running mate position.
I've not heard that.
No, they did. Party leader Obinga said that they would go for nothing less than the running mate position in that coalition. Does that worry you?
No, it doesn't. Let me tell you, friend. You know, from where you are, you approach issues as a journalist. From where I am, I approach things as a leader, as a political leader. ODM is right. In fact, stop baptizing them demands. They are requests, you know, they are political requests. Then we shall sit down. Yeah? That debate is not taking place here. We shall sit down, our leaders will sit down, then there will be agreements. And as the president said, there will be concessions here and there. Yeah. You wanted this. Remember, the Nadical report is coming to effect very soon. So, you know what Nadical says. We have the Prime Minister, we have the other seats. So, we generally don't have even to lose the running mate as a coalition. We can still have the president, we can have Prof as his running mate. Our brothers here, they can have the Prime Minister. You know, we share the government, and it's not about only sharing the positions, but bringing Kenyans together. I'm telling you.
You would also be okay as you are an official of the UDA party.
Yes.
You would also be okay if at all the running mate position goes to ODM.
It will not go. No, I'm telling you, no, listen, we cannot preempt that. What I'm telling you is, after the Nadical report comes into effect, we shall be able to sit down and we shall agree who, you know, this is like a match. You know, like the way BAMBA used to say, Araina Mpira.
But I like anything less than the running mate position would actually show that ODM is a weaker party in this coalition.
No, I don't think that. I don't think so. And I am not of the opinion that ODM should get a running mate position in the coalition or in the cooperation with the UDA. I believe that if they fall for that, then they'll be negotiating from a very weak position. because the president can tell them that the running mate is a very powerful institution, and after that, then you don't deserve any other position. So they might lose a lot. And in fact, anybody who wants to weaken ODM should give them the running mate position. I think that they need to let UDA with its partners, because UDA is now a partnership with the ANC. You remember that Musalia Mudavadi is within there. Ford Kenya is still there. If it were me, I would tell them to choose either Ford Kenya or ANC to get the running mate position, and we go for other opportunities. We need to separate ODM from this idea that they are addicted to the presidency. They are very desperate for the presidency.
For the last 20 years, you have been very consistent. It's the only party that has had a presidential candidate consistently for the four general elections.
Yes, the last 5 general elections.
Yes, then now the party has no presidential candidate. Isn't that the beginning of the end for such a party?
No, I think it's where they can strengthen themselves. If they understood that they can also play their politics without having somebody contending for the presidency, is when they will understand that they can rebuild themselves, so that in 10 or 15 years they capture power, but without going for the presidency now. Because every time they run for the president, they use a lot of resources and they don't necessarily win it. We have losses for the last. In fact, BAMBA was a special human being. If you understand political campaigns, BAMBA was a very special human being to go for presidential elections 5 times. Even if you've had unlimited resources, it is taxing on your mental state, you're physically, emotionally. It is one of the most brutal. Some of the people cannot even go for campaigns twice for MCA. BAMBA went 5 times. The brutality of the police, the rulings of the state, the mocking, the insults which comes after that. There was a time that even the media would not cover you. He depended on that's how the political blogging was built in this country, because BAMBA would call you and tell you that, we cannot get coverage in the media over this issue, see if the government is influencing through the adverts of the state. I think ODM needs to separate from the presidency, need to run away from the idea that they must go for the presidency, either as deputy president or a presidential contender, for them to be seen to be a strong party.
Does it not leave the party appearing, in as much as a perception, appearing like they're negotiating from a weaker position?
Negotiating from a very strong position. If they go for they say that we don't want this, we want this. Because it will scare opponents. It's very obvious that everybody wants to go for the presidency. Everybody wants to go for the deputy president. They think that, but who needs, in fact, for this country, what people don't understand is that sometimes what is called Kithure Kindiki, professor, is just legally the deputy president. But de facto, the deputy president of the country is the governor of Nairobi.
Really? Why do you say that?
Because, every presidential meeting, you'll get the governor of Nairobi. The governor of Nairobi, in fact, by economic power, is more powerful than
the deputy president.
Than 30 bottom counties combined. The deputy president power is dominated by the president. You remember when Uhuru attended the ICC meetings in Hague, and then there was a push and pull. He said that he has handed power temporarily to the deputy president to act when he was absent. Immediately, he finished the meeting in The Hague. His own PA was sending us SMSs. Semeni, period of acting imeisha. What is kind of insecurities?
Fred, one thing I like about Robert, my brother here, he will say things that cannot be said by anyone else, which are not necessarily true, but he will say them. Politics is it has so many dynamics. For example, during the State House meeting, the governor of Nairobi was there. I'm just a village MCA there, but I have a position in the party. I spoke, he didn't speak. But I'm telling you, Prof Kindiki, by his nature, he's a man full of humility, he's a very good guy. So at times, because he doesn't fight for those small things we are used to seeing, those big guys fighting for very small things, even very small space. They want to trample upon everyone. So Prof is just there, he's cool, but he speaks in every meeting that Prof is there and the president is there, it is him to speak. This gentleman, he's a very powerful man. It is just that he's a cool man who exercises a lot of restraint in the way he does things. Remember, devolution is one of the most powerful, organs in this country, the devolved units and what have you. Prof is in charge of them. And if you start, he's in charge of this, the ministerial subcommittees, he's in charge of a lot. And you see the good thing with President Ruto. And it is just, I think people just don't understand him at times. President William Ruto, just like what I used to see with Mzee Kibaki, he has donated a lot of powers to those he works with, the deputy president, the ministers, and he expects you, when he gives you work, you assist him to deliver concerning, and he normally don't interfere. I've been given the role of being the chairperson of the UDMCX caucus, and that is what I was speaking about there. And I raised certain aspects, the issue of bursaries to the counties, the issue of the MCS or the World Development Fund, the autonomy of the financial autonomy of the assemblies, which even the president have signed into law, but is pending implementation. The president listens to you.
Okay.
He expects you to advise him and to raise concerns surrounding all those issues, and he acts on them.
Okay, let's go back to the meeting. And the president, away from issues of ODM, the president talked about the fact that he's meeting aspirants next week.
Yes.
And it was more or less a warning. It had been issued even by Musalia Mudavadi, whose position in the party, we're still not sure. I think he's a deputy